there, YouTube. This is Jeremy, K5TXY, formerly known as Off Duty Ham Radio, now Ham in Order. It's been over a year since I've made any posts, and I kind of thought I would chime in here as I do the rebranding and let everyone know kind of what's been going on over the last year. So first off, last October, we moved QTHs, got out into the sticks, away from all the city hustle and bustle, started gardening and raising my orchard with some various different kinds of fruit trees. Nothing other than some figs from the fruit trees so far, but they take time. Planted a garden, an above ground garden, raised bed garden, whatever you want to call it. Had a pretty good spring and summer crop. Then I decided that since I had the mighty Kubota, I was going to till up some earth, mix in some compost, which I got from my sister, and try some direct sowing. Well, that hasn't turned out so good, so next year it's all going to be raised bed gardens. Managed to build myself a decent little 10 by 12 greenhouse that I'm going to start my seedlings in, and beekeeping too. I've started beekeeping. So I've got all these different hobbies, and you may even see a bee fly around here every now and then. They seem to think that they have some food over in the garage that I'm kind of in front of, and the beehive's back behind me. So they may pass through here, and I'm wearing an orange shirt, my old off-duty ham radio shirt that I was using to mow in. So might attract some attention. But over this last year, a little more than a year, had an opportunity to attend several Hamventions, Hamcation in Orlando, been to Hamvention in Dayton a couple of times, and then also to Hamfest in Huntsville a couple of times. Went to all those with my friend Chase, KI5RE, now Ham Radio HQ. We had a good time. Go there, camp, do some POTA along the way. In fact, there's a camper better known as POTA 2. So we take that, have a good time. Chase is able to get a bunch of content for his channel, and I kind of actually started out that way. I was going to do a bunch of content for this one, but started attending those conventions, and I realized something. Fellow YouTubers kind of douchebags. So it really put me off on wanting to create any kind of content or do anything ham radio wise. So I just kind of put it down for a while. I was like, I'm not out there. I'm not trying to be competition. I'm not trying to take away views or subscribers. I'm just out there to have fun. Now, granted, I know for a lot of them, it's their job. And their livelihood's on the line, and I'm not in that position. I have a career in public safety. I've been, public safety for almost 30 years now, and that's what I do. So I set aside the YouTube stuff, kind of, I don't know, did a little guiding and directing with Chase and his channel, and gave him some ideas. And if you haven't been over there at Ham Radio HQ, he's a heck of a photographer, videographer. Oh, there's a bee now. I don't know. Oh, there she went. He does a great job. Now, if we can just get him to grow a personality, it might help him out a little bit. He's a good guy. Love the kid to death. He even came down here to Houston to do a video for my boy's wedding and did a fantastic job. So if you need to hire somebody out, he's not cheap, but he's well worth the money. Give KI5RE a shout out. So back to the lull in doing YouTube. Had that big distaste in my mouth for it. I guess the people that I associate with is a pretty tight brotherhood. We're all in it together. We consider each other family. And I was kind of thinking that the ham radio YouTubers would be kind of the same, and it's definitely not the case. Now, granted, most of them are great guys. Very eager to help out and guide and direct. But the big ones, I guess I can't single out all of the big ones, but there's some big names that it's just like, really, guys? Really disappointing. So I was like, I don't want to be associated with that. So I just kind of stepped back. You know, Buddy Chase, he definitely wants to be all that, and so support him and helped him out and drove him all over the place because I've got the truck to pull POTA too, and he normally rides along and helps cover expenses and whatnot. But I just didn't have any desire to film. I didn't take cameras. I took some radios to POTA. Still love to do some POTA. We hit parks to and from, and then generally stay in a state park, so that way we can POTA there. But just didn't want to do it anymore. But over about the last month, I've developed what some people might call a condition. And I now have a cardiologist, and I may end up here in the near future wearing some internal jewelry that could be quite shocking. And so I've kind of reflected on some things, and I decided I'm not going to let that bother me anymore. I'm going to rebrand, and I'm going to come out here with both arms swinging, and I'm going to have fun with it. In fact, it's going to be all fun. I'm not the smartest ham radio guy by far. I may have an extra level license, and yes, I'm a no-code ham radio operator. That's to change, though, in the future. And I'm still learning. I am learning so much, and I'll learn from everybody else. And the day you stop learning is the day you start dying, so that's not going to happen. I refuse to let that happen now. But I'm going to come out here and I'm going to have fun. So I developed this channel. Ham and Order is of course, anybody who knows good old TV knows the TV show that it's kind of based off of. And you can kind of read the description as to what you're going to find on here. But I'm going to have fun, and it's all going to be just in fun. It's going to be satire. It's nothing going to be cruel. I may roast here and there. In fact, I'm going to roast myself. One of the things I'm going to do is talk about my antennas that I have here. I've got, probably can't see it in the sun, but I've got some end-fed half waves hanging up in the tree. I've got, where are they at? I got my UHF VHF and 1 1/4 vertical. I've got a 6-meter dipole back there. Heck, we'll just take a walk. Climbing off the mighty Kubota. I used to have a off-center fed dipole way up into these 100-foot trees, which I've found make the best towers, but I didn't properly secure one of the dipole ends, and a windstorm took it out. But it's up in that tree, so I'm going to roast myself on that. I've got a DX Commander over there that's kind of on tilt, but I've been waiting for these cooler days to get over there and fix it. And then the bees. And I'll show you guys the bees. It's going to be nighttime, so they might be a little pissy. But I've got this hive is the Jedi, and in charge of the Jedi is Queen Amidala. Over here, I have the Empire. I don't have a name for that queen yet, so if you have any ideas, put them in the comments. Over here is the Decepticons, and that queen is, make sure I have it right, Megatrina. And over here is, oops, that used to be the Autobots. The Autobots were led by Optima Prima. However, they either killed her or she took off and the hive just kind of dwindled. So what was left of the Autobots is now with the Jedi. So that was fun in itself, putting those guys together. I have to take a second and catch my breath. I'm taking all these medicines now that make it a little difficult just to live anymore. Oh, there's that 6-meter dipole that I was talking about. Got to roast it. And then, let's see if I can see it. Kind of see some of the paracord there that lead up to the off-center fed dipole. I have it. I'm actually probably going to change it this fall. So there's going to be some videos of, roasting myself. I'm going to have fun. Like I said, I'm not the smartest guy there is when it comes to ham radio. but I've got resources out there I can go to help. My father-in-law, WA5TXY, he's one of the major ones that I go to. And even Chase, he was once the student, is now the teacher. But I just wanted to kind of give you all a heads up as to what was coming. I'm looking to have a lot of fun with the Ham and Order channel. And I'm also starting up another channel called Two Guys, One Pup, which, if you're old like me, you kind of know a risky video back in the day that was out there that was just disgusting, which I kind of borrowed from that name and modified it a little bit. I'm not going to say what that one was because I don't want anybody to go look it up because it's gross. But it's going to be all satire as well. It's going to be a lot of fake news and fake stats. But that's where we're at. And if you guys have any ideas for videos that you want to see based on my new platform, put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm going to be looking forward to just getting out there and having a good time with them. And I'll probably have Chase as a guest host. And of course, it's going to be all parody, fake stuff. And unfortunately, distance is a factor. Him in Oklahoma City and me near Houston. But I got the technology. I'm going to try and see if I can get him to basically, I'm lost for words. I've been out working in the sun, probably overexerting myself, but teleporting into my studio, and he and I working together on that. But that's what's going on with Ham and Order. I hope you guys enjoy it. I look forward to doing it, and many more. Take care of yourselves. Have fun. 73s.